Hello, everyone. This is Wednesday's on here. I'm used to, I guess, being on a little bit of a stage and playing a little song, but I guess I'll toss my hat into XRP. You know, going out and saying my opinion in public. Uh, so I guess like a thought process of XRP. Here we have it on the daily, where I think it's gonna go from what I see. Maybe it's worth something. If I'm explaining this from the very beginning, don't mind all the craziness, but XRP in its past, if we're looking at the monthly time frame, very high time frame, we see XRP, its inception, high, comes up for lower high, trades around, boosts through, right? If we look closer on certain things, it'll be kind of revealing. But why does this matter, right? See the same thing happening here. High, lower high. Now we're here. It's a very interesting. Well, I forgot to mention that we're like trading around sideways, but it's literally like the same kind of pattern. If we were looking at this on, I don't know, like a daily time frame or whatever, we'd be like, this is a fractal. But I think it's so big, we've almost gotten it out the picture. Okay, well that's interesting. I guess like how what okay, so it's shaping out to be the same thing. Well, what did it do? What did it do in the meanwhile? Oh wait, it pumped up. That's cool. Pumped up 14,000%. Is there anything on the way there? I don't know. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom in. What? A correction? Correction of 60%? What? Or I guess from here, if you threw a Fibonacci extension over the whole thing, okay, it's a little dirty. It's a little dirty. Let me clean it up. Boom. A 58% correction, or AKA to the 382 on the fib. Well, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, everything is checking out so far on the larger time frame. Are we gonna see a correction here to the 382 on the fib? I don't know. Well, what's it doing right now? Let's zoom in a little bit more, people. On the weekly time frame, XRP has made what looks like a head and shoulders. Zoom in a little bit more. I mean, this is just a head and shoulders I was tracking that led into this head and shoulders again. This right here. But don't mind this, I guess. This is a little bit more in depth. Head and shoulders means down. We all know that. This is on, you can see this on the daily right here. This is on the weekly. This is a very, very big movement that could potentially push us downwards to $8, 33. I'm saying 35, right? Ish. Right in and around here. Okay, maybe. But like, okay, this is if you overlaid it, this is how similar these two movements are. This is the fractal movement. It's obviously not the same exact thing verbatim, but you know, it's got the same markings. This one's a way bigger one though, with its own individual movements. Could we see a correction even go lower? Maybe. Maybe. Where will it find support? But I think everything's saying it's a sign downward now in the short term. Okay. Now we know we're gonna go to $1.32 ish. $1.80. Maybe even lower. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not calling any bottoms because that's not what I do as a trader. All I could see is a movement that is saying, or a not a movement, but the setup for a movement that is saying I'm going to go way downward. And now we're literally, honestly, seeing that play in real time. This is a breakdown of the. I mean, if you want to look at this very closely, look what it's doing. It's breaking past this level of support right here. It's got to go past the $2. This is real support right here. Psychological. the fib kind of gets blurred out, turns into a psychological support. Because the way I look at trading personally, and I think is cool, is two things could be true at once. You could have a Fibonacci extension and a psychological support right next to each other, and the line kind of blurs between them. That is allowed in trading because we got to remember, excuse me, this is fundamentally psychology on paper. Things get blurry in psychology. It's not just like people are like, oh, I'm going to believe in Fibonacci extensions. Oh, no, I'm believing in psychological supports. I'm believing in this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's a little combination of everything. I think Fibonacci's are interesting, though, in the sense that they are a naturally repeating process, what seems throughout to be the universe, at least life or something. I, I don't know. I don't want to misquote it, but I know it's a repeating thing. Anyways, uh, yeah, we see it going downward. See it going downward. I'm recording this. Monthly candle should be closing soon. Yeah, monthly candle is closing in 19 hours, so it'd be interesting to see. Okay, the weekly held up. Weekly held up. But now we see this. Where's this week gonna take us? And where is the monthly close gonna look? High time frame. High time frame. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So we know it's gonna dip somewhere here because we established this is a head and shoulders. We're waiting to see what it does, obviously, at all times. But we know if it dips, it's probably gonna do this because it's repeating the same pattern. Okay. Whoops. I always do this. If it's repeating the same pattern, well, what can we expect to see here? This is assuming it's the same exact thing, you know, verbatim as this one. Even though this one's smaller, right here, I'm sorry, this one is smaller. So playing out on a way bigger level. So obviously, I'm not calling this to be exact, but let's see how close just like simple fractals will take us. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Let's rewind a little bit. Okay. So we know the correction happens. I got a little ahead of myself here. So we know this correction happens right here. Then what happens? Oh shit, a pump. We pump. What is this right here? Look. Pump 58% past the 4236. Okay. Whoops. Just been in the wrong spot. Right here. Trade. Touch 2618. Wick down even lower. But let's just say it holds up 2618. And then it proceeds to pump. Oh, actually, I never marked this part up right here. I'm sorry. Or I guess I did with the. You'll see. Okay, 57% roughly. That takes us to about $22. Or I'm sorry, $21. Again, 20 might be psychological level right here to look out for. A huge sell wall is going to be probably at $20. Or I'll mark it just so no confusion. It's probably going to be a huge sell wall right here. Trade down, touch 2618, which would take us to about $8.30 or 40 cents. Is saying, I'm sorry. We'll see. Obviously. But then, we forget that we get accompanied by a 14,000% move right here. After this trading right here, boom. Assuming it's the same exact thing, that would take us to a $200 XRP. That's it. I think fractal trading, it makes the most sense on the level that, like, if this truly is psychology over time, it's just big moves over time, how money moves, you know. And to think on do patterns usually tend to play out in trading? Well, yes, we know how like head and shoulders work. You know, we know that's a move downward. Inverted is a move upward. I think we personally see variations of that, but that's something I'm not going to toss in yet. I'm still working on that one. It's a thought in my mind. But if you see if these are the same system. If this time frame is the same system as this, just zoomed in very, very, very deeply, they should all have the same principles. It's like saying you exist within a world, or within this universe. You're still subjugated to gravity or whatever. Maybe certain kind of rules to it. Who knows? Maybe it's just a chaos and there's no way to predict the market. But I mean, to take I don't know. Just on a chart level, on just a specifically, I am analyzing the chart. Don't put emotion in this. Don't put emotion in this. Look at it. That's the number one rule about trading. You can't get all emotional and be like, oh. I mean, we see, unless this is like the greatest setup in history for failure, like it has to be some catastrophic level of manipulation where at that point, screw it, there was never a way out to begin with, almost. But like, that's emotion. That's emotion talking. You can't. That's clouded judgment. You have to say, I see a pattern here. I see this pattern here. It's the same pattern. This thing did this. Why? I mean, what insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result? You would, I guess, by technically Albert Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result would also mean you're insane if you do the same thing and expect a different. If like like, do I have to spell it out more? Like, it's the same thing. You're gonna expect a different result. Are you insane? Do I have to like? I felt like I was choking up on those words a little bit, but like, I guess by Albert Einstein's definition of insanity, this will not be a good move. This will not be what happens, at least on some level, if you kind of smudge it a little bit, because you know life isn't perfect like that. It's not the same exact thing. Like, oh, look, this move was what, 58. Like, I could move it a little higher, but it's fair to say, okay, like $20 will be a good level. You have to. It's not a perfect art, but you got to get close. You got to try to shoot. I think this is the closest thing we have. I saw a guy actually on YouTube. Let me pull him up. This is like me. Gosh. Uh, let's see this guy. And my history look over here. This guy. Uh, let's see. It was right here.
But as you can see, this was followed up.
So he's throwing this thing. This orange, which is what this is right here, of course, right? This is the same thing, just this one stretched out. This orange one is this movement here, though. He was putting this over like the daily time frame, I think was what he had on, maybe a little like 2 day. Yeah, he had it over this thing. But I don't know. That doesn't make sense. How can you say the movement of one higher high, a highest high, a lower high, followed by a retest? That high. Might I add? Oh, I don't think I added this part. This is really cool. 'Cause we're looking at it on the weekly. It comes up. If this is the high from right here, this top, right? Comes up, it breaks past it, and then it trades downward, right? Now I can't really zoom in any further aside from these two daily candles. Maybe if I had like an 8 hour, but it's a free version right here. Maybe we'd see like a head and shoulder form or something. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, it led to this sell off. Regardless, after breaking past its high. Well, what does that ring a bell? Right? If we have this being the high of the wick, and then we have, dang, we gotta break past. It's another similarity right there. Should I put the circles on it? Where the hell are the circles are around here? Right here. Anyways, I don't remember where the circles are on this thing. Ah, there you go. Whoops. I could do a better circle. Oop. Break past. Break past. What is this? They're very similar, you know? So tariffs are coming up. It's weird. It's really weird some of these things that you see in the charts and how if you predict a move right, there's some event that follows that move. It's literally almost like predicting an event. You're saying something's gonna happen this day. Because watch here, check this out, check this out, check this out. Y'all ready for this? Weekly. I remember looking at the weekly time frame, right? This RSI here. I love RSIs. I remember seeing this weekly cross. Or no, I think I was watching it on the I can't remember what time frame I was watching it on. It had to have been weekly because it was an RSI cross. And yeah, I think it was followed by this. You know? This. This was the weekly RSI cross causing this. And I remember like just seeing it cross, and I just remember thinking, man, like, okay, that should indicate sell-offs, and then boom, Trump announces tariffs. How like what are the chances that his moves that I mean that first news that dropped it even lower than this where we're at now in preparation for tariffs? You know, it was with an RSI drop. Or I'm sorry, I think it was on Bitcoin. Was it Bitcoin? I think it might have been Bitcoin. Or maybe both. Maybe both. But nevertheless, okay, speaking of RSI drops, we had this. And then okay. I proved the XRP thing. I think pretty good. I think I made a convincing argument in my head, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. To one of you guys, so you won't just take my word. Oh, an RSI cross on Bitcoin doesn't mean anything on a monthly time frame. Okay, well let's you say that if you do, and let's see every time the RSIs have crossed. Because okay, for those of you who don't know, I guess uh, RSI crossing. Usually, if this purple line, see how right here the yellow goes through and the purple is coming down on the yellow. If they cross like that, coming down, it's usually a sell off. If they cross going up, usually it's a buy thing. You know. Wait, where was the example right here? Sometimes. Let's see. RSI cross going downward, sell off. RSI cross going downward, sell off. RSI cross going downward. This is on the monthly time frame. This is not daily. This is not even weekly. This is the monthly time frame. I mean, that's pretty wide, I would say, and that definitely causes moves. You know, what do we have to wait for it on the 3 month? Maybe I don't know. I don't know because monthly is already pretty high time frame. I'm just trying to. We've had it cross one time, technically. Maybe we'll see it again. Maybe this monthly time frame cross downward will lead into like some sort of 3 month. I don't know. That'd be interesting to note though. I I like 4 hour, but I gotta take away these, man. That's just not even an hour. I'll keep two. But like really, this is how you gotta be disciplined with the trading time frames. You know, you start trying to predict all these little small moves. Look, zoom out. You know. So cross over here on the Bitcoin. See it at 81 currently. These Louise. And everything's melting. I don't need to be the one to say that. I've been kind of calling for this for a while. You can see here on the total too, by the way. On the month, RSI cross. So technically a signal as well. RSI cross here coming downward, sell off. RSI cross going downward, or pump sell off. You know, it just made the inverted head and shoulders happen. What this is the monthly happened 6 months later. Okay, maybe right, maybe that's worth something. That's history. It dropped 50% and then rose up. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? RSI sell off. I mean, depending how this plays out, this could go. I mean, I'm not trying to call a bottom because I know what I know some of these markets go crazy. Like if this God, I mean, I like the head and shoulder theory. I like head and shoulders a lot. I'm sure if you looked at this on some sort of weekly time frame, that yeah, this is looking at the head and shoulders. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I've been playing around with the head and shoulders a lot recently. Again, the move downward, right? Move downward. So that being said, oh wait, that being said, like, could you imagine something like this being a head and shoulders right here? Something like this. Can you imagine a retest of like this level? And then it does something like that? Who knows? I just look at the monthly and I'm like, hold on. You never know. You never know. I mean, like, you might say, oh, that's zooming too far out. Too far out. Fuck. Could you imagine this being the head and shoulders? Just crash. Whoops. I don't know. I don't mean to speculate too much, but you can't. Yeah, I think it's important to think that these things eventually catch up every once in a while. Again, fractal trading. In theory, you could put this on a monthly on a yearly thing. Hold on, maybe gold would be like a better example on the 12 month. Markets are just the same thing repeating on large. Again, we're zooming out and we're looking at the same thing. It's a fractal. I don't like looking at it more. Which, by the way, gold prediction around 2000. Yeah. Well, but before I get into that one, I guess uh fractals, man. Like, start off with one shape. The more you, I mean, hold on. Is this like, I can't believe I got to put them side by side here. Fractal, like, right? What does this remind you of? Right? You got this like giant. Hold on. This big shape, right? Big shape. Oh, repetition of big shape. Repetition of big shape. Oh, repetition of shape. Oh, shape repetition. Shape repetition. Repeating. Oh, but hold up. Wait a second. Hold up. I mean, these things are so crazy. By the way, like, how could like It's amazing that we live in a world with fractals and stuff. You know, that this is like a naturally occurring phenomena that we get to like observe. I think that's like insane. This is like the depiction of something. Well, nevertheless, shapes within shapes. I mean, what the shapes should like repeat each other. I want to like see like super like, and then you're zooming in a little bit more, right? This is God knows how far in. Still just patterns, right? It's just the same thing, which is just super trippy. Could like sitting here watching a fractal. Oh my god, taking like shrooms or something. This would be crazy. I would love to see like the original shape repeated in here. I feel like that's gotta exist somewhere in a fractal. That was like the whole point. This is like the most replayed. Huh. That's interesting. I guess I have never watched technically 3 hours worth of fractals to know that they originate from maybe a different shape. But zoomed out, they're a normal shape. This is just completely different. I don't know. Is this just this one? Oh, they're not self-similar, I guess. But I don't know. To just think you're zooming in on the same shape. Maybe this one has like a little bit of principles to it. Nevertheless, it's just like a pattern repeated on larger time frames. Maybe, who knows? I know with gold. Here's the interesting thing with gold. Let me tell you a thing about gold. It went up to this is off. $850, right, for gold. Corrected down to 200. Gold is almost touching. Gold is almost touching. 1,000. Getting close to 1,000 corrects. See it go down for a while. Comes up. Gets here. Almost 2,000. Comes back down. Yeah, corrected even like. Wait, what is this one? Sorry, I don't know why I had that one. Nor this one. I guess I was measuring it from supports, but I think it's more. I was looking at it the other day, right? Almost comes up to $2,000, crashes down 1,000. Can we see it come down? Touch here. It likes to touch support. You know, gold is very good at respecting that. As you can see, so who knows? Everyone's getting greedy with gold. That's the time you should be selling, I guess, right? If you zoom out on larger market principles, I remember when I was first getting into these markets a while ago, said when everyone's bullish, be bearish. When everyone's bearish, be bullish. Well, I mean, I guess everyone's getting super bullish on gold. I mean, look at this shit. But I realistically think it's got to come down, unfortunately. Let's go in for it. That only technically means a harder correction, I guess, in theory. If we think about it from like a, Fibonacci's, the deeper in you go. And I guess what the government is going to get their gold audited. Everyone's saying it's going to be super bullish. That's something Trump's doing. I don't know. Maybe it could be bullish. Who knows? Who knows? This is all just speculation. not financial advice, I guess I gotta say, or something like that. Uh, yeah. Uh, only time will tell, I guess. Really, only time will tell. All right.